Little free libraries. Adorable tiny houses, built and maintained by members of our community for the residents of Kitsap County to lend and borrow books, filled with exciting stories, educational insight, and literary joy from a well-rounded variety of genres, inspiring neighbors and their families to read. This is absolutely wonderful, Alan. I'm sure that the Silverdale Point of View neighborhood is grateful to you for building them a library. Could you tell us when you made it and what inspired you to make it?
Well, I made it, it was actually early spring of last year. Shirley Hosier, who's not only a friend of ours, lives around the corner here. She's a member of the HOA committee, and she also knows that I do woodworking. And so she asked if I could consider building it.
And how long did it take you to make it?
Oh gosh, well it was hit and miss on time. Overall it probably took me 5 weeks.
Great work. What materials did you use?
Well, I started by making a pattern out of some panel board just so I could get my angle correct. And then from there I transferred that angle over to 3/4 inch plywood. And the bulk of it is just plywood, although the front of it is not. Then of course the top is just some roofing material, tin roofing. Yeah, it was a fun project.
That's so cool.
So,
And where did you learn that technique to make this?
I've been making different things off and on for a number of years, and if I can look at a pattern, I can usually cut it and put it together.
Could you tell me who commonly visits to add books or borrow books?
Just about anybody or everybody that I've seen. Our great-grandson, who's 4 years old, likes to come down here and check things out. And then a lot of times people walking in the neighborhood, they'll stop and take a look at it.
Thank you so much for being here with us today and for sharing the story behind this awesome library that you built.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Whether you're outside getting fresh air by walking your dog or running around for exercise on an afternoon jog, I highly recommend that you check out a little free library near you. You just might find a new book that will inspire you. You might even want to be the next builder, just like Alan, to make a library for your own neighborhood to enjoy. Little libraries are as unique as the people that create them. There are some just for gardening and some just for kids. Some only have books seasonally, like the one at Anna Smith Children's Garden off Tracyton. Master Gardeners are active at their demonstration gardens spring-fall and offer great summer programs for kids. At Rab Park Youth Garden, the whole library comes in for the winter.
Our library is a seasonal library, and we bring it in for the winter so that it can have sleeping time like the garden gets sleeping time. During the winter months, we make sure that we do whatever repairs need to be made and do a little painting and making it beautiful for the next year. The purpose of the library is to actually bring in families into the garden when we don't have a children's program, to enjoy and look at how the garden's growing and to observe nature and to sit together and just read. We started the library about 5 years ago. It was a shed that was built by Cheryl Bosley and her husband. So we repurposed it, and Jackie Siller, who is another master gardener, took it home, and she and her husband Mark put in shelves and turned it into the little library with the idea that the books inside of it would be children's books in order to get families to come together in the garden. Mike Stevens just does work on its legs, and we're here today to paint those legs up because they just got operated on. And we have another master gardener, Rachel Knudsen, who also does a lot of updating on the painting part of it, so it still looks like a fun, cute children's library. It's winter time, so we're taking all the things that needed to be repainted in the garden, and we've got a group of master gardeners here together, and we're painting signs for the garden, so what vegetable signs, and we're painting a bench, and we're painting the little library, obviously, it got new legs, and bird houses. So we're all gathered here together to have a good time to see each other and to help the garden. The library comes out in May, and we stock it with children's books having to do with science and gardening and nature. It stays out all summer long in hopes that we'll have a lot of visitors, and we do every year. And then finally in October it goes back inside and goes to sleep for the wintertime. The books that we put inside are actually books donated in the name of Jackie Siller because she passed away in 2019 and she did so much for the garden and for the library.
Want to learn more about the WSU Kitsap Master Gardener demonstration gardens and children's summer programs? You can find that at their website and Facebook page. Book by book, from one person to the next, as a community, we all can learn and grow from the shared knowledge dwelling in these sweet homes for books. You can also check out the Little Free Library website at littlefreelibrary.org/our-map to see where you can find a Little Free Library near you. Thanks for watching! Brought to you by Bremerton-Kitsap Access Television.